How you doing? This is James Salengo. This is my second sex fail. That's right, I'm full of them, folks. I've never had a sex win. This is the story of the night I thought I was gonna lose my virginity, but instead got choked out by a man. Now, prom is a magical time in a young person's life. I was a virgin, of course, as you can imagine, and I thought maybe this was gonna be the night that things get spicy, baby. I was in 10th grade, but I got invited to the 11th grade prom by my friend Carly, who was elected prom queen. Thank you, very cool. But we were just friends. There was this other girl there. I got a crush on this girl. Her name was Nicole. I wasn't invited to prom by Nicole because she was actually invited by another guy, a big hunk, 11th grade, which should have been a signal that maybe things weren't gonna work out for me this night. I gotta be honest, I was a very late bloomer. I didn't go through puberty till I was 21. What? That's weird, right? I was like 5'6", weighed like 180 pounds, just a little tubby marshmallow boy. Cherubic, a lot of people describe. I had a little baby dick, because that's what happens when you don't go through puberty. Bald as a damn eagle down there. I don't even know if I'd made out with anyone at this point. A girl on my bus had shoved her tongue so far down my throat that I almost puked. So I don't know what I thought sex was gonna be, but I was excited at the prospect. Why I thought it could turn into something is we're having an after party after the prom. In upstate New York, an after party is a shed in the woods, and you sit around and drink natty ice. And Nicole and I discussed earlier, she's like, oh, I've got a tent if you want to stay in the tent with me, because I didn't have a tent. I thought tonight is the night. We are getting down to business, baby. I'm talking about sex. I'm talking about whoop whoop, whoop whoop. We were there at the party. We had the tent there, set it up, loaded my sleeping bag and all my supplies. So throughout the night, you know, I'm talking to people, I'm being fun. There was a fire, so I was just like dancing around, telling fun stories, drinking, you know, one natty light, because I didn't really drink at the time, and it was honestly very disgusting. But, you know, I'm tracking Nicole, I'm checking in with her once in a while. She's talking with some older guys. I'm like, that's cool, you guys, you know, talk her up, set the stage, all right, for the big man to come in and close the deal. For some reason, the prom party was a mixture of young kids who should be at a prom party and then like weird old townies that just kind of inhabited the woods and just crept around. So there's this guy Perry who's about 24 years old, but he seemed 100, who for some reason thought it was appropriate to come to high school parties, which he did often. Somebody comes out of the shed at this point and they're like, I think Perry's dead. And no one else seemed concerned about this but me. I was like, wow, that's not good. So I went in to check on Perry, and Perry was lying face down and he had puked. So I went in to make sure he was breathing. I made sure he stayed on his stomach. I sat with him for a second and, you know, everything seemed fine. So later on, I go back in the shed and Perry's up, he's drinking, having a good time. I was like, oh, Perry's had a full recovery. What a miracle. A prom night miracle. I was like, Perry, earlier tonight, everyone thought you were dead and I came in to make sure you were alive. And I thought Perry would be so gracious. Maybe we'd hug, maybe we'd develop a relationship. He would be, you know, some type of father figure to me. But Perry, this is not the image Perry had, because somebody behind me, some jokester goes, yeah, he checked by putting your dick in his mouth. And, you know, me being a funny little boy, I was like, you know, I'm no EMT, but I don't think that's how you check to see if someone's alive. But before I could get that hilarious joke out, Perry just starts choking me. It's this full 24-year-old force around my little marshmallowy neck. And I'm just like, Perry, excuse me, I was trying to help. The instinct to fight back doesn't even pop in my mind. I don't even have fight or flight, it's just play dead. A little bit. Anybody gonna help? Nope. Out of the question. Everybody at the party's like, choke that kid. Choke that kid. I guess this is the end. Choke that boy. This is not how I expected it, but choke him good. Choke him till he's dead. Maybe he'll get tired. He looks like he's got a lot of energy left. Which I don't know why they're celebrating this, but people are very excited. And I was like, if somebody could please help. But nobody wanted to step in. And at this point, Perry takes me, puts me on the futon, and starts rubbing my head in the half-dried vomit. He finally got tired, I guess, and let me go. I popped up, a few tears in my eyes. Sure, it was a tough time. I ran out of the shed, past the throng of cheering people. I kind of thought my night would get a little smooching, a little touching, a little rubbing. The only rubbing going on was this grown man's hands around my neck, and it was more of a throttling than a rubbing. Pain and pleasure walk hand in hand in this life. I found some leaves and I tried to rub the vomit out of my hair, and I was like, you know what? All right, that really sucked, but you know what? I still got Nicole in the tent. So that's pretty exciting. I haven't seen her in a little while. So I go to the tent that we're both sharing. All my stuff's in there. I unzipped it a little bit, and it seems that one of these beefcakes had snuck into my spot in the tent, and I hear Nicole in there having sex. I believe it was also on top of my sleeping bag and belongings. I didn't want to interrupt them. I thought that would be rude. So, you know, I just let them get after it. Well, I don't really know. Everyone else seems to be shacked up in their tents. My buddy Dan, I went to check on his tent. There's some rustling in there. Not gonna bother them. So I just went and I slept in a wet field. You know, it wasn't a great sleep. It wasn't one of the worst sleeps I've had. I've slept worse in my life. And I woke up very cold, very wet. And all my friends were like, man, that night was awesome. And I was like, yeah, it was pretty cool, pretty cool night. And I went home and I cried. This is honestly a fail on several levels, many levels. It was one of the worst nights of my life. My advice to you little boys going to prom, maybe if you're a late bloomer, maybe you're a chubby little boy. It gets better. I don't know. I've had sex since then. It's not always great. I've been on this show twice, so yeah, life's hard, but here I am to tell the story. Also, the name Perry, like, what the fuck? Get out of here, dude.